everything came from NetScreen. Actually, there is an organization called NetScreen Technologies, okay, which got acquired by Juniper in 2005.
Okay.
Okay. Give me 1 second. So, this NetScreen Technologies is an organization. Okay, former CEO of this is Kenzie. See here.
Okay.
CTO, CEO, and founder. This is the guy who started FortiGate now. 2005, he sold this NetScreen Technologies to Juniper. Because of a 5-year gentleman agreement, what he done, he didn't started any company. In 2000, he started his own company called Fortinet.
Fortinet. Okay.
Yes, Fortinet is also a leader in market in UTMs as well as firewalls.
Okay.
Then former CTO, his name is Yan Key, who's the guy who started Checkpoint. Okay, Checkpoint Firewall is also from the family of NetScreen. And the former CTO of the same NetScreen, Mr. Nirjuk, this is the guy who is CEO of Palo Alto. Okay, if you look into market, means even after acquiring NetScreen, Juniper simulated the same architecture with the name Junos, and they started their their firewalls called SRX, Juniper SRX firewalls.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, same architecture used in Fortinet, same used in Checkpoint, same with Palo Alto, Nirjuk.
Okay.
Means not only this, most of the security products such as Imperva, AlgoSec, Tuffin, all are from NetScreen family only. Everybody are using the same architecture. Okay, so people, you have good knowledge with one particular area, means you are good with Palo Alto. You can work with Palo Alto, Checkpoint, Fortinet, Juniper, and NetScreen.
Okay.
Okay, because all are from same breed. All are using same ASIC features as well as same acceleration features and all this stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So migration is once again migration tools are given freely from Palo Alto. Palo Alto will give you migration tool free of cost. What you need to do is, however, your Juniper SRX architecture is also an XML architecture. Okay, and Palo Alto also use XML architecture. Both are same. Okay. So migration is very easy in terms of Juniper SRX to Palo Alto.
Okay.
Whereas if you are migrating to Checkpoint or Fortinet, you may face issues. When it comes to Juniper to Palo Alto, it's similar, same XML architecture. So it is very easy. Okay. So let's start into what is firewall and how we work and all the stuff. Let me start with our basic introduction of firewalls. And I have a couple of other guys in my team who are part of this training. One is Mr. Lalit Mehta. Lalit.
I think Lalit is not there.
Lalit is there, yeah. Lalit, can you hear me? Hello. Okay, and one more guy is Mr. Atif. He's also from same Cisco expertise. Okay.
Hello, sir.
And one more guy is Mr. Lalit Mehta. He's experienced 9+ years of experience into security. Same. Okay, these two are from my team actually. So this training is going to be actually Palo Alto is having multiple levels of trainings. We are going to discuss. And this training is purely onto PA 201, PAN 201 training. Okay. PAN 201 training we are discussing over here. Then understand what we are going to discuss is what is a firewall, and we are going to discuss types of firewalls and deployment methods, deployment modes of multiple firewalls. Then why Palo Alto, difference between firewall, next generation firewall, and then UTM, and why then initial deployment of our Palo Alto, and how much time you are expecting this to complete, Pranav?
So, like time-wise, ideally, from what I was discussing with Tapan, like what dates I had given him, which we should have started yesterday. But from what I got from him, he said the total training is like around 35 hours.
How many hours?
35?
No, yeah, it's 24 hours. See here, I don't know why miscommunication happened. See here, Palo Alto training. You look into official Palo Alto.
1 minute, hold on.
Check out now. See here, this is the course which we discussed, and official training partner is discussing 7.1, but we are discussing 8.0 because Feb 1st 8.0 got released. Official training partners will take 2 more months to implement it, but because we will be working only with the updated syllabus, so we are working on 8.0. Okay. So see here, this is the official curriculum which is of this. It's a 3 days course which is of 24 hours training.
All right. Okay.
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 I think a small miscommunication might be. So you can see here, it's purely onto 24 hours training. This one is. So per day, how many hours you are expecting this training to be done on?
Per day around 4 hours.
Okay, perfect. We can do it like that.
Yeah. Only thing is, this Saturday is an issue right now for me.
Okay.
And I had communicated with him earlier, saying that this Saturday will not be possible. So what?
No problem.
Was like to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
No
right
problem.
Now, Wednesday is gone, so we'll do Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
No problem. We can do it. No problem. After Sunday, once again, Monday we can start.
Yeah, Monday I think we should be able to start. Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, perfect. So let me start. What is a firewall? What's a firewall?
Like,
Firewall is an junction point. You give your input. Firewall is a sits between private network and public network.
Correct.
Okay, which is going to segregate or which is going to restrict access from public to private as well as private to public as per our requirement. But basically it is meant to protect private network from public networks.
Right.
Okay. So similar like the same firewall, what we can say is firewall is an junction point which sits between public and private networks, which will be segregating both public and private network and restricting public network access to private network basically. Okay. Then we have multiple types of firewalls. If you observe, hundreds of types of firewalls are there, but major types of firewalls are packet filtering device, such as your Cisco ACLs you are writing, right?
Right.
Those comes under packet filtering devices. Next one is application gateways, such as proxies. Okay, application gateways, and the third one is stateful packet filtering device. Stateful packet filtering devices. So first, if you understand very clearly, this is based on the behavior. This got analyzed. This is based on the behavior. Firewalls are classified into multiple. We can see circuit level gateway. We can see multiple layers, but based on the behavior, how it is going to transfer the packet, or how it is going to flow the packet. Based on that, this got classified majorly into 3 different types: packet filtering devices, application gateway, as well as stateful packet filtering.
Okay.
When it comes to packet filtering devices such as your Cisco router, which you are writing ACLs, packet filtering device will corely focus on to layer 3 and layer 2 traffic only. It cannot means, for example, I have a see, this is my public server. This is a packet filtering device. Okay. Internal user, when internal user is trying to access your server over the network using your packet filtering device, what it can inspect, what a packet filtering device can inspect is, it can inspect only TCP header and IP header. Means you can restrict or allow resources which are of either based on IP address, source IP or destination IP, or source port or destination port. Okay. The restriction or allow or drop, what you can define is only based on source IP, source port, or destination IP address, destination port. Okay.
So this is TCP and UDP both, right?
Yes. And the second thing is your packet filtering device is not an intelligent device which won't maintain any state table. Okay. Means which can't maintain a state table. Means by default we know what is TCP IP three-way handshake. Whenever your user from your internal network is trying to access a server in internet, what TCP flag he is sending back? Now SYN packet you sent. What reply will come?
SYN-ACK.
Because your firewall is not maintaining any state table, it can't identify this is a reply packet coming from a sent request.
Correct.
Okay. So what you need to do for reply traffic, once again you need to write one more policy. You are writing one policy in your ACL to make this traffic to go out. For reply traffic, once again you are writing one more policy to allow reply traffic. Now understand, when you are allowing, how you will allow reply traffic? How you need to allow reply traffic? From which source? From which source this traffic is coming? How you will identify?
Correct. Yeah.
So what you are doing? Anything from public.
All. Yeah.
Yeah. When you are saying allow all, assume like that there is a hacker who is sitting over here, who scanned your firewall and identified that it's a stateless packet filter. Correct. So he also will generate his own SYN packet and send it to your system.
Right.
Will your firewall capable to block it?
No.
No, because you only open the port from anybody to send a request to your private network.
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So because of this, packet filtering devices are not fully secured firewalls. The reason is because it won't maintain a state table. If any user is, any hacker from public is initiating a connection from public to private, it allows still. Okay. But you can use only few parameters to control the traffic. One is either based on source IP or destination IP, or source port or destination port. Based on these four parameters, you can able to restrict your network access to public. Okay.
So does anybody use these kind of firewalls, like these packet filtering firewalls?
No, actually at perimeter level, what companies will do, all the multicast traffic and everything need to get dropped, right? Unnecessary traffic and everything should not get to your firewall. For that particular purpose, at perimeter level, we will be configuring a router with this configuration with ACL. Okay. Nobody in real time use nowadays stateless packet filtering. Okay. But this is used at corporates, enterprise, especially at ISP, gateways and all the stuff, to block unnecessary multicasting traffic, broadcasting traffic and unnecessary traffic. If we didn't enable router and ACL at perimeter, what happens? Unnecessary broadcast traffic, unnecessary multicasting traffic, unnecessary anybody who are sending a broadcast request, my router will, all the packets will lead to my interface, which will become load on my gateway, isn't it?
Correct, yes.
To avoid that, internet will be connected to a router where we will configure ACLs. So all the waste traffic will be filtered there. Only interested traffic will hit to your firewall's WAN interface.
Okay.
Perfect. So this is about packet filtering device which we configure. Then there is next type of firewall called as application gateway. So name itself is saying you very clearly it works only on application layer. It can't allow traffic related to ICMP, related to telnet, related to any other protocol. Only it works on application layer such as proxy. So what happens, this is your user by using browser he will generate some traffic.
Correct.
Okay, so what this application gateway will do, behalf of user, it won't allow user directly to pass through this device and connect to your destination server. Behalf of this end user, this application gateway will talk to server, fetch the information and give that information back to the proxy or user.
Okay.
So means this application gateways will maintain two different connections. One is at client side, another one is at server side. What this is going to do, only application traffic it is allowing, but the advantage of it is you have more granular control over the application data. For example, I want to restrict certain applications. Okay, I want to allow only particular application traffic, not all the traffic. Okay, I want to do content filtering, I want to do web filtering, URL filtering and all the stuff, more control for you on application layer data. Okay, but if you are having only application gateway, you can't use it to restrict based on IPR, IP source IP destination IP you can't restrict.
Right.
Okay, so application gateway will allow only application traffic, not entire all the protocol traffic. User need to initiate either HTTP, FTP, telnet or login kind of initiation traffic need to be, only application traffic need to be allowed, rest of traffic won't be allowed by your application level gateway. Okay,
Okay.
that is example. If you want to see blue coat proxy, you are having squid proxy and all the stuff, those are examples of application gateway.
Okay.
Okay, and now understand stateful packet filters which we are using in our day-by-day communication. Stateful packet filtering devices. What are stateful packet filtering devices? Stateful packet filtering is nothing but a combination of packet filtering device as well as application control with more access. It means you can filter data from layer 2 to layer 7. Okay, from layer 2 to layer 7 all the data, means presentation layer data or application data you can filter. You can filter L2 L3 also, that is nothing but your stateful packet filtering. How stateful packet filtering works is, assume like that this is your stateful packet filtering device, this is your end user and this is your server. Your user want to connect to server. So when your firewall is a stateful packet filtering device, it is going to write down a state table. Write down a state table. User U1 are from so and so 10.0.0.1 IP address. User connected to www.google.com. Okay, and this www.google.com is what I can say is www.google.com. My user sent SYN. So when a reply traffic is coming, it will verify that is it part of an existing session or a new session. When packet hits to your ingress interface, it will immediately verify. We will discuss in depth in packet flow in our next module. This is basic which we are discussing. So when a packet reply is coming and hitting to ingress interface, it will verify is it part of a new communication or an established communication. Okay, so by looking this data, it is getting with SYN plus ACK. So acknowledgement is responding back to this particular SYN which I sent, right? It verifies. So is there any SYN sent from this mission? It verifies in its session table. Yes. So it will identify that it's a reply traffic and it will allow, because it is maintaining a state table. Assume like that if a hacker is sitting here and generating a traffic, means always he need to send a SYN.
Correct.
So if any SYN packet is coming from public to private, it's not part of any existing session. It's a new session, right? This will get automatically dropped. Sometimes hackers are intelligent. They will directly send a SYN hack. Okay. So it checks, is there any SYN sent from my network to this particular destination IP address? No, because no user is sent from this internal network, right? So definitely it will identify that it's a malformed packet sent by a hacker, and it is going to drop the packet here itself, because there is no SYN generated from an internal network to this particular external network.
Okay.
Right? Is this clear?
Clear. Yep.
Okay. So this is nothing but your stateful packet filtering. Nowadays, all the firewalls which we are getting are stateful packet filtering devices only. All the firewalls nowadays we are getting are stateful packet filtering devices only. Okay. And coming to deployment mode, firewalls can be deployed in multiple different modes. Majorly, two different modes. One is a NAT mode, and second one is bridge mode or transparent mode. Some companies will say bridge mode, some companies will say transparent mode. So let's understand a real-time company's requirement. To make it understandable, we'll take a scenario of a company. So for example, there is an organization, okay, they have multiple MPLS routes or BGP routes connect to a router, okay. This is a router which is getting internet from ISP. From router, cable is dragged to WAN interface of your firewall device.
Okay.
This is WAN interface of your firewall. Okay. And how you will connect? This is LAN interface. This will be connected to a switch. Okay. From switch, you have multiple different switches where you will be connecting to your development network, R&D, sales, marketing, everything, different marketing, different departments. And one more interface you will be having here, which will go to DMZ switch. Okay, you have a DMZ network where all your servers will be kept at. Right?
Right.
So now tell me, what are the features? What are the security features nowadays a company is expecting from a firewall? Assume like that your company want to deploy a Palo Alto device.
Right.
What features you are expecting? What security features you are expecting by doing a deployment of a enterprise gateway?
So I think one thing is trying to have a private network away from the public network.
Same, we already configured here. So you need to have a firewall which will be performing NAT for that, because you want all the internal networks to go external, but external network should not come into your internal, isn't it? So you need to have your business requirement is NAT.
Correct.
Perfect. We have enabled firewall need to be there to grant or control your policies. Which traffic need to be sent, which traffic need to be dropped.
Right.
Okay, NAT need to be there to segregate your DMZ, your internal and external. Fine.
Right.
What other business requirements?
Another thing is to probably try and inspect the traffic, what is going, and allow and disallow.
Firewall will do that. Firewall will do that. What next expectations companies are having?
If there is any tunnels.
VPN.
VPNs, yeah.
Right?
Right.
Perfect. VPN termination or VPN initiation should happen by using my firewall. Perfect. What else? Intrusion protection system. Right. If any attack is going on company, you are expecting your firewall to prevent that attack.
Right.
Right? IPS.
Right.
Okay. Perfect. Web filtering. In your company, do you allow web filtering or not?
I'm not sure, but I think so, yeah.
You allow all the websites in your company, or some websites are having restrictions?
As such, most of everything is allowed. I don't think there is any restriction as such, but probably to internal sites, there might be some restriction.
Yes, right. That performance, that need to be done through web filtering, isn't it?
Correct.
So, okay, web filtering is there. Then You want to block malicious applications such as TeamViewer. Will you allow your corporate network systems to be remotely given desktop to somebody else?
Ideally, no. But
And will you allow malicious applications like Tor browsers, malicious applications like peer-to-peer in your corporate network?
right. No. Ideally, no. Yes.
No, right?
Correct.
So,
Yes.
I hope you are aware about endpoint.
Endpoint is like the host that we are using.
Endpoint controllers. If you verify in your corporate systems, if you try to install something, it will be automatically blocked. And every day morning, automatically it should do an antivirus scan, automatic patch management, and everything.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because of day by day sophisticated attacks, because of day by day attacks, what companies are expecting? Companies are expecting all the security features to deploy.
Right.
You need a antivirus at gateway. Why? Because you don't want malicious data to transfer into your network. Even in each and every system, you can install a virus, but will you allow your enterprise gateway to allow malicious data to enter into your network?
Right.
So I need to have an antivirus blade, and nowadays malware analysis. Okay, very major thing is DLP. If you understand, out of 100, 82% attacks will happen on company from internal network users, disgruntled employees, what we can say.
Okay.
Okay, so DLP, data leakage prevention. If you remember recent case, 3 years back case, Sony got hacked by hackers group. If you remember.
Yeah, there was some. Right.
Yeah, that got who released all the information to hackers? A single internal employee.
Correct.
Okay, so when internal employees are trying to share some sensitive information of company to public, that I need to prevent.
Right.
Okay, so people are expecting, companies are expecting huge things to be done in terms of security. Okay, companies are expecting huge things on security. Do you think a single device will do all this stuff?
Yeah, you need multiple devices probably.
We need multiple devices, right? So how companies will achieve all this is they will be deploying a NAT mode device, and they'll be deploying multiple transparent mode or bridge mode devices. Okay, let's see. I'll show you a real-time implementation documentation just for understanding purpose, which I have implemented in my career. See here.
So once again, so company will deploy one NAT mode and multiple bridge or transparent mode.
Yes. I will show you. These are actually I have deployed in my career. So I've write down. See here, if you observe, very long back. Now you understand. This is an firewall cluster which is connected directly to bank WAN MPLS. Okay? This is core switch. Now if you observe, internal also I have one more firewall which is connected to internet cloud. Okay? Now this firewall which is acting, see here, this is external gateway, external cluster. Internet, 2 ISP connections are connected to my WAN optimization device. Okay, radar. From there it is connected to a firewall. This firewall, what we will deploy is, we will deploy this firewall as a NAT mode device. Okay. Most probably in NAT mode, what we will implement in real time is, one is IPS, VPN. Some companies even won't do IPS also. IPS, they'll take a dedicated box and they'll put one interface in promiscuous mode and do it. Okay. And multiple bridge mode devices. See here, if you look at this ISA, this is old deployment which I have done for a client. So this ISA is a firewall. Actually, it's a Microsoft firewall long back.
Okay.
So all the client's traffic will be filtered here. Only interested traffic we are sending out.
Okay.
Okay. I'll show you MasterCard. No. Yeah, this one is. What should be? So multiple. Sorry, somebody. Will you keep your mic in mute? Lalit.
Sir, my mic is new.
No, I am listening some voices. You know, that's why I asked him.
I think it's from my mic is new, sir.
You check out, no? Please check out. Okay. So, Lalit, you are free. If you have any doubts, please ask me.
Yeah, sure, I will ask.
Yeah, even all of you. Any time if you are getting any doubt, please no need to hesitate. You ask me any doubt. Okay.
Okay, sure, sir.
So let's see. I'm taking a small topology of a company. Okay. So most of corporate companies, what they'll do, they have their router. Okay.
Okay.
We are taking a real-time scenario. Don't get confused. If you are getting confused, please let me know.
Sure.
One NAT mode device will be deployed. One NAT mode gateway will be deployed. Okay.
Okay.
Internet will be connected to that NAT mode device. Okay. And we'll be having internal network. This is internal switch.
Okay.
And I have sales department. I have marketing. Okay. I have R&D. Okay. So like this, we'll be having multiple departments. So what we'll do, from LAN network, we'll be connecting this to multiple different department switches. Right?
Okay. Right.
We will enable some VLANs and all the stuff here. In this switch, we will enable VLANs and we'll configure different networks, and we'll be connecting to this particular departments. Perfect. And we'll be having in real time, I'm just simulating a real world scenario. We'll be having multiple interfaces. Okay. So this is my DMZ network. I have my web server and FTP server or mail server sitting in this. Okay. Cable will be dragged. You know, some companies, if they are having huge flow, they will deploy a load balancer, ADC, everything here. Like F5 and all the ADC here. Okay.
Okay.
Now I have another switch. Okay. Here I have another network, which is my monitoring network. Most probably here we will deploy IPS, a dedicated IPS engine. And we will keep this interface in promiscuous mode. So any packet which is sitting to any of these interfaces, all the traffic will be mirrored to this IPS engine. This is management network or monitoring network, what we can say.
Okay.
Generally, organizations prefer to do this. Now we understood business requirements, right? So assume like that you don't have bridge mode devices. You don't have transparent mode or bridge mode devices. Now assume like that this user is browsing facebook.com, which is against your corporate policies. Okay. This user is browsing facebook.com, which is quite against your corporate policies. So how you need to prevent, if you are not having any other bridge mode devices, every traffic need to be filtered here itself, isn't it?
Correct.
So a traffic will pass all the way from this machine to this switch. From this switch, this traffic will go to this core layer switch. From here, this will go to internal interface. So once a packet hits to ingress interface of any firewall device, It will verify DOS verification. Is it carrying any DOS attack? Is it carrying any malicious content? Or is it malformed packet? Then it will look into, is it part of an IPsec communication? Then it will verify destination NAT. Then it will verify route. Then it looks for a policy. Is there any policy written from internal to external?
Okay.
Yes, there is a policy written. After that, your web filtering will verify. In web filtering, you identified that he is browsing a website which you are not allowed. So packet will get dropped there at web filter.
Okay.
Now understand how much resource you have wasted, because traffic all the way processed by your both the switches. Okay, your firewall done verification of NAT, verification of IPsec, verification of DNAT, integrity check, DOS, and all the stuff. After that, this packet get dropped. So means it is putting lot of effort, lot of resource. It is utilizing of your firewall as well as your network as well as your switches, isn't it? To avoid this, what we are going to do, we are going to deploy bridge mode firewalls here. Okay, what we are going to do, we are going to deploy bridge mode firewalls here. So most probably in corporate, what we will enable on enterprise gateway, NAT, firewall, VPN, IPS. Hardly only these four will be deployed at enterprise gateway. Antivirus, web filtering, content filtering, application control, endpoint, DLP, malware analysis, everything will be deployed here.
Okay.
Just understand the scenario previously. If this user is browsing facebook.com, I deployed a transparent mode device here, enabled web filter. So if user is browsing a site which is blocked by web filter, here itself traffic will get dropped.
Correct.
So only interested traffic will reach from the your transparent mode device or bridge mode device to enterprise gateway, which will be reducing load on enterprise gateway, isn't it?
Yeah. But so here, like we have multiple users,
Yes.
we have multiple domains.
Yes.
So for every domain, they will have a separate, like a bridge mode of this thing.
It's not every domain actually. If you are using user-based policies also, you will be integrating your domain with your firewall. You will be integrating your Active Directory either with your bridge mode device as well as your with NAT mode device. Okay?
Okay.
As per your requirement. For example, now my requirement is I can't afford two firewalls for two different departments.
Okay.
So what I will do, instead of I configure my NAT mode device here, I will drag a cable from here. This is called out of path deployment. I will deploy a transparent proxy over here.
Okay.
Transparent firewall here. So what I will do, all this interface traffic, here I will put it into mirror. Here in switch I will enable a interface into promiscuous mode.
Okay.
So all the traffic need to be hit to this particular transparent firewall. Once it is allowed, then only the traffic need to be passed from this transparent firewall to this NAT mode firewall.
Okay.
It depends on company to company.
Right.
Okay. And very rare you can see transparent mode firewall deployment in real time. Very rare you will see, especially Palo Alto, Checkpoint devices are very expensive. Companies won't try to deploy transparent mode firewalls as Checkpoint or Palo Alto something, because there is a great flexibility if they deploy a proxy server here than a transparent mode firewall.
Okay.
So what companies are expecting by deploying a transparent mode firewall is only security features such as antivirus, web filtering, content filtering, data filtering, that is DLP and all the stuff.
Right.
All these features are done by proxy servers. Okay. And one more greater flexibility by using proxy server is cache. Cache.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay.
Caching is nothing but, for example, here google.com is there. Now assume like that I don't have my this transparent mode gateway. I deployed a proxy server here. Okay, what proxy will do when you deploy a proxy server? What it is going to do? It will establish a connection from client side. Assume like that this user is browsing google.com. It won't allow user directly to contact google.com, which is here. Okay, behalf of user, this server, this proxy will contact google.com and capture entire HTTP content of google.com. Okay, and store in its cache memory. Give back response to client. Now one more client is sitting here, is trying to browse google.com. It won't need to go all the way out. Directly from its local cache it will provide. Is it clear?
Clear, yes.
So now how much of my WAN bandwidth users got reduced because of proxy?
Right.
Because of this reason, most of the times companies are not preferring to deploy their transparent mode gateways by using expensive products such as Palo Alto or Fortinet or Checkpoint. They are preferring this enterprise gateways to be on this Checkpoint or Palo Alto or Fortinet. Okay.
Okay.
And they are preferring to install proxies like Blue Coat or WebSense as bridge mode or transparent mode gateways. Okay.
Okay.
So it depends. Once again, some companies even use firewalls as bridge mode or transparent mode. Why we call it as bridge mode or transparent mode? Because this is acting like a switch. There is no interfaces need to be configured. Only management interface will configure for this. Okay. It acts like a switch, L2, layer 2.
Okay.
Okay, and it is used to filter traffic. Okay, and why we will call it as even transparent is you can deploy in such a way. Assume like that my already existing network topology is like this. Okay, existing network topology is this. All users are connected to this switch. Switch is connected to this another switch. You need not to change any existing topology. You can directly connect a new cable and connect this firewall here. Okay, and just in switch you need to enable a promiscuous mode. That's it.
Okay.
So you need not to change anything, and user don't know that there is a transparent firewall which is filtering my traffic. That's why it is called as transparent. User don't know that. User think that this firewall is in traffic is going here. This is filtering, but really this is not performing web filter and all the stuff. Web filter and all the stuff is done by this transparent mode firewall. User is not aware that there is a filtering device sitting between me and the gateway. Because of that reason, we'll call it as transparent. And it is acting like a switch. It is not acting like a gateway device, L3 device. It is acting like a L2 device, just taking traffic, passing from one interface traffic to another interface, which normally a switch will do. That's why we'll call it as bridge. Why bridge? Difference between bridge and switch is, if one collision occurs in one particular network, it is going to stop collision to spread into all the interfaces, right? That's what the beauty of a bridge. So this is going to even act as a bridge, means assume like that here some collision occurred in this network. So immediately this network traffic will get blocked in this particular. It means if anybody, for example, this network is trying to this network, connect this network, it will allow. If anybody are trying to connect only this network, then only it will block.
Okay.
Or else if it is a switch, what happens? Collision also will spread to all the networks.
Right.
Now you got clear understanding?
Yes.
Where we'll use bridge mode, where we'll use NAT mode. You understand, right?
Yes.
So bridge mode is also called as transparent mode. Especially enterprise gateways, we never deploy in bridge mode or transparent mode. We'll deploy only in NAT mode. Here in Palo Alto, we'll call it as L2, layer 2 mode. We won't call it as bridge or transparent in Palo Alto. We'll call it as layer 2 implementation. Okay?
Okay.
Layer 2 mode. Let's go now. Why Palo Alto? See, market is having multiple firewalls such as Checkpoint is there, Fortinet is there, Juniper is there, What are the advantages? See, every vendor will be having their own advantages, isn't it?
Correct.
Their own priority. If you take Checkpoint, the throughput is a best advantage of Checkpoint. Okay, if you look into FortiGate, faster packet flow from ingress to egress is advantage of FortiGate. Similar like that, Palo Alto is having a lot of advantages. First advantage is application control, which they will call as app ID. Because of app ID, application control, this Palo Alto becomes popular. Means if you want to do application control, if you want to block peer-to-peer networks, instant messaging, torrents, especially application control is the very beautiful feature of Palo Alto. And one more thing is SP3 architecture. SP3 architecture makes, okay, we will discuss what is SP3 architecture and all the stuff. This is majorly focusing on to offloading traffic on your gateway. SP3 architecture. Okay, so these are the two advantages why we need to go with Palo Alto. Very, see, and one more thing is, according to Gartner Magic is an organization who will rate products every quarter.
Yeah, Gartner's, right.
Yeah, if you look into enterprise gateway from 2014 onwards, Checkpoint or Palo Alto, these two are leading entire market.
Correct.
This is on proxy, secure web gateway. See here, enterprise mobility management, enterprise gateway, not secure gateway. What I'll do, enterprise firewall I'll type as, because when I say gateway, it will go for proxies, secure web gateway. Okay, enterprise firewall. See here, this is as per rating of 2016 May.
Right.
Who are leader in market?
Palo Alto and Checkpoint.
Second place goes to Checkpoint, third is Fortinet, fourth Cisco.
Okay.
Okay. Constantly, if you look from 2013 onwards, Palo Alto either in first place or second place.
Okay.
See here, 2014 April.
All
Checkpoint
right.
first place, Palo Alto second place. Either it is in first or second place in each and every quarter. Okay. How they will change, how Gartner Magic will rate, they will rate based on the product features, they will rate based on the support, they will rate based on features, advanced capabilities. Okay, all the things they will consider to rate as a leader. If you read complete documentation of Gartner Magic, you can understand why they have made Palo Alto as a leader. Okay, why they made Palo Alto as a leader? If you read, you can clearly understand. Only the advantage is, one is a SP3 architecture, second one is app ID, more granular control over application traffic. Okay, because nowadays web-based applications become day by day increased, isn't it?
Correct.
So every vendor, they kept all the plus as well as minus. Why they are leader? What are advantages? And all the stuff they clearly give you. You can give your username and password and you can download Gartner Magic report. Okay?
Right.
They will be evaluated very in depth. They will do evaluation very in depth by considering all the parameters. Then they will release, this PDF. So here, this is PDF. They will clearly tell you what are the advantages and disadvantages. Why we made Palo Alto as leader in this quarter. They will tell you very clearly why, what are the advantages and disadvantages.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm just opening.
Does it show what is the market share right now for Palo Alto?
Yeah, they will show. See here, I'm opening, that's why I'm opening this. This is of Checkpoint, Cisco, SonyCall, ForcePoint, Fortinet. Everybody, they will release. You know, what are the strengths, what are the weakness they need to concentrate on. Companies will wait for a report and they'll do. See here. Quality and ease of use for Palo Alto Network App ID. As I told you, this is the most advanced feature of Palo Alto. App ID and IPS are the
So this
two most cited factors.
app ID, and this app ID is not there in Checkpoint or other this thing.
No. In Checkpoint, it is there with the name application control, which is there.
Okay.
But how many applications signatures it is going to identify? How many application signatures it is processing? That entire depends, right?
Right.
Okay, means if you have your own firewall, assume like that your company developed a firewall. Okay, your company is able to detect 1 lakh applications.
Correct.
But my company is detecting 3 lakh applications.
Right.
Definitely, it makes the difference, isn't it?
Correct.
Same way. And one more, as I told you, 3-tier SP3 architecture, single pass parallel packet flow. Okay.
Okay.
These are the 2 best advantages of a Gartner.
Okay. Understood.
Okay, and if you come down, they clearly give what are the cautions. So Palo Alto Networks is lagged than other vendors in developing a virtual firewall, because nowadays everything is moving on to cloud and SDN, software defined network.
Correct.
Okay, Palo Alto designed firewalls, very rare firewalls. They deployed for VMware, they deployed for KVM, they deployed even for AWS, but not for Azure as of now in market. As of now, they don't have VM which will suit in Azure environments.
Okay.
They have VMs which can be deployed in AWS. They have VMs which can be deployed in VMware ESXi as well as VMware NSX, but they don't have deployment in Azure, Microsoft Azure.
Okay.
Because of that, they are lagging. They are they're minus, their plus and minus everything they have given. Okay, Data Magic will definitely give like this. Is it clear?
Clear. Yeah. So, like these VMs can be deployed. Like for us, let's say if we want to test something, we can just deploy this VM.
Yeah. I'm going to give you all the VMs, and we are going to work on very advanced versions. As I told you, we are going to use all. This is your Palo Alto VM of 8.0. As I told you, you have seen even in Palo Alto official website, everybody are discussing 7.1.
Right.
This 8.0 released on 1st of February.
Okay.
Okay. So we are going to work on fresh. Whatever is new today, that we are working on.
Okay.
Okay. This is Panorama VM, and you have all the application control updates, signatures. I told you app ID, right?
Right.
These are app ID signatures.
Okay.
Okay, which can be imported into your VM.
Okay, understood.
Everything we are going to work on, and I'm going to upload you this content. See, this is for ESX and this is for NSX. If you are working on NSX platform, then you can use NSX VM. If you are working on ESXi environment, then you can use VM.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
No need to worry. Everything you can set up in your lab, and you can do each and every lab practical, except 2 things: upgrade and downgrade of FortiGate. Palo Alto you can't do. Rest of everything you can do.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So why Palo Alto already we discussed. We are working with the leader, so no need to discuss more. What are the advantages comparatively with competitors? Are App ID and IPS engine, then packet flow, that is SP3 architecture. Because of SP3 architecture, traffic will be very fastly processed by using network processor, security processor, and content processor. So all this offloading is taken from NetScreen only. Checkpoint says it as a core XL, cluster XL, and secure XL. Fortinet says it as 40 ASIC, content processor, network processor, and security processor. The same Palo Alto says it as SP3 architecture.
Okay.
As I told you, everybody are from same NetScreen family. Naming convention is different. That you just need to understand. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
And Palo Alto is the first firewall who came in market with a name called next generation firewall. Till that particular time, everybody are saying about firewall. Then they came into market with a name called next generation firewall. What the difference between next generation firewall and a normal firewall? This question I have received even from 10 plus years, 15 years experience guys in corporate. They also got shocked. When they logged into firewall and looked into all the features, everything looks same. But they advertise like next generation firewall. See, next generation firewall is nothing which is supporting your IPv6. Okay. And
Okay.
one more feature is packet flow, very faster packet flow. It's just a marketing tactic which they used. Okay, when you say Palo Alto, people says next generation firewall. Actually, people don't know what is next generation firewall. What is if you say Palo Alto advertised in such a way that they are the owners of next generation firewall.
Okay.
See here. Next generation firewall is nothing, a firewall with more granular control on application. See, visibility and control. This is there with other firewalls also. Visibility and control, that is application based, user based control, threat prevention,
Right.
okay, and offloading. Okay. Only difference is you have, see here, application control. You can block torrents, you can block multiple applications here, box application, TeamViewer application, Gmail application. More granular control over applications, more control over users. Okay.
Okay.
So every company will do some of their marketing tactics, right? Same way, this is marketing tactic. If you look at Sophos, they advertise that user identity layer 8 technology. Sophos recently acquired CyberHome. Okay, they says layer 8 technology. It's a patent product. In OSI reference model, we know 7 layers are there. What is this layer 8?
Yeah.
Layer 8 is nothing but user-based prevention.
Okay.
Layer 8 technologies here. They patented it. Named it as human layer. In OSI, above application layer, they named it as human layer.
One layer. Yeah.
And they got patent also for this.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. Nothing but it's a marketing mania. End of the day, you'll be doing the same thing. Earlier also this user-based identity is enabled. But this much granular control is not there on user at that particular time. But now we came up with a granular control on user. That's it. Every vendor will say some specifications, some specialities in their marketing. That is only one difference between next generation firewall and normal firewall.
Okay. And this IPv6 is there in regular firewall as well as next generation firewall?
It's there. Even your NetScreen, which is 10 years before device, will support IPv6 now.
Okay.
Just to advertise, they made it as next generation firewall. Especially we'll discuss this in Palo Alto itself, because Palo Alto advertises like anything. Palo Alto, whenever you name it in corporate, people says next generation firewall.
Right.
Even they don't know what is next generation firewall, they says about Palo Alto is having next generation firewall. So because of that, in every Palo Alto class, we'll discuss what actually they meant. They discuss. It's more visibility and control. There is nothing but application based or user based filtering, which in Palo Alto language it is called as app ID and user ID. Okay. And coming to this, IPv6 support is there always, and more layered security. Layered security is nothing but you can build multiple layers in a single policy. Okay, we will discuss that in however in our next coming sessions. Okay.
Okay.
So understand UTM. What is UTM? UTM stands for Unified Threat Management. Unified Threat Management. If you look 5 years or 7 years back, if you remember, WAN optimization, there is a dedicated device. Okay, I've shown even my ING Vaishya Bank implementation diagram. Radware, Altian. What this device will do? This device will do only WAN optimization. Okay. Our picks are ASA. Only firewall. Okay. I want IPS. Then SourceFire. SourceFire or tipping point. What it will do? It will do only IPS. Okay. Proxy. Blue coat. Then antivirus. At that particular time, and Micron, Symantec are the popular antivirus servers. Means for a particular business requirement or a particular security requirement, a single purpose, you need to have a single device.
Right.
Whereas all the security purposes are deployed in a single box. That is called a UTM. But remember here, if you enable all features in a single one, that will get overloaded, isn't it?
So when you say all features in single box means like the NAT and the bridge both together.
Yes, all in a single box. But will we deploy all in a single box in real time? No. For example, today you purchased one device. Earlier days you purchased ASA. Now today you want application control. You can't do on this, right? You need to purchase one more device.
Correct.
For time being to use. Or today my company migrated my enterprise gateway from ASA to Checkpoint. So what I need to do? I need to throw this ASA out, isn't it?
Right.
Now, because of UTM, what the advantage you are having? You can put it in bridge mode and you can use it as an antivirus server. You can put it in bridge mode, you can use it as a proxy. You can put it in internal network bridge mode, you can use it as a DLP. You can use it as an endpoint. Now you got that difference. In real time, however, we won't deploy all the features in a single box because of throughput and faster packet flow.
Correct.
But what we need to ensure is after some days, after some time, if this device is not usable for me for one particular purpose, I can utilize this device for another purpose. Right?
Correct.
So, and for example, today I am putting it in my internal antivirus server is into maintenance. My antivirus server, I need to do maintenance. So, at that time, if any attack happens, I can't restrict, right? For a time being, only that particular time, I will make this as antivirus. I can use this as antivirus.
Okay.
Like that. Multiple advantages even having.
So this UTM is like a separate device which you can use, or
No. The same device can act as an UTM.
Okay.
You purchased Checkpoint, you purchased Palo Alto, you purchased Fortinet. The same device, which is a next generation firewall or an firewall, also act as UTM. Nowadays, every vendor came up with their UTMs.
Okay.
Gartner Magic 2016 UTM. In UTM market, Palo Alto is not there because Palo Alto is not having their own dedicated this one, DLP, endpoint and all the stuff. You can't see Palo Alto here. Fortinet is there, Checkpoint is there, Sophos is third place, Cisco, Juniper, Dell. You understood?
Right.
A single box will act as all these features. All these features are enabled. Single license. Only one license you need to purchase called bundle license. You can use it as anything, whatever you want. From 2014 till now, Fortinet is leader, Checkpoint is in second place. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Now, we understood what are the different firewalls, next generation firewalls, UTMs and all the stuff, right?
Right.
Now I need to initially deploy Palo Alto device.
Right.
Okay. So before going for this, till now what we discussed is a basic. Till now we didn't even enter into Palo Alto or Palo Alto things.
Correct.
Okay. We discussed the basic about what you need to have or you need to understand basic security things we discussed till now. Now let's enter into our Palo Alto proprietary product. We are going to open our Palo Alto slides and we are going to work on Palo Alto. Okay.
Okay.
Now Palo Alto module 1. This is our Palo Alto module 1. Oh, this is module 11. Sorry. Where is my module 1? Yes. Sorry. Where is my module 1? Yes. See module 1. Introduction to Palo Alto. I'm
Okay.
going to share the slides also to you.
Okay.
Okay. So it will be easy for you to understand.
Right.
Okay. So what we are going to discuss in this Palo Alto training? We are going to discuss platform and architecture of Palo Alto. Okay. Then administration and management. This module we are going to discuss how to initially deploy a Palo Alto device. Okay. How to configure from which mission this can be accessed and how to define management network. Okay. And
Okay.
interface configuration. Interface configuration, we are going to configure LAN interface, WAN interface, DMZ and all the stuff. Okay. And we are going to configure layer 3 configuration, that is routing, what is your default gateway and all the stuff. Then we are going to see app ID, application control, which is the advanced feature of Palo Alto.
Okay.
Okay. Then we are going to see content ID, content based filtering. Okay. Then we are going to discuss about encryption and decryption happens in layer 6. Okay. How we are going to encrypt and decrypt data using Palo Alto. Then we are going to discuss user-based controls, that is user identity. Here we are going to integrate with Active Directory. We are going to integrate with Radius to understand how to control users in corporate environment when I am having multiple domain controllers and network. Okay. Then we are going to discuss about VPN. This VPN we are going to discuss site-to-site VPN, remote access VPN and SSL portal and all the stuff. Okay. And high availability, we are going to put it in active or active passive mode to understand if one firewall is down, another firewall will be taking care of entire your traffic, or you can do load balancing also.
Okay.
Okay. Then Panorama, here Panorama will discuss basics. Why? Because there is a different course called Peer 221. There is a different course meant for Panorama, Panorama Essentials. Okay. Which won't comes under 201. This comes under, see here, this is our PAN 201,
Right.
this is 205, and this is 221. Here you will work on Panorama. See here. But I am going to give you Panorama and I will tell you how to do it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
So like, if you can just quickly browse, like what is there in other training? Let's say, for example, this 205. What does 205 mean?
Yes, I'll show you. First 201, which our course is.
Okay.
What we are going to discuss, already we discussed all the modules here.
Okay. So in that module, we didn't have NAT, is it? We have NAT
No,
code as well?
NAT is there.
Okay.
Security and NAT policies are there, right?
Oh, right.
We are going to perform source NAT, destination NAT, U-turn NAT, lot of NATs.
Okay.
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 Then in 205, you will get more advanced control onto mobile device management. Because of BYOD policies, nowadays everybody are getting their own devices, right? This is going to discuss advanced NAT, okay, policy-based forwarding, routing protocols to enable only OSPF. However, they won't discuss anything more than that.
Okay.
App ID, writing your own customized application signatures.
Okay.
Configuring your override of applications. Advanced content ID means DLP, DOS protection, botnet protection, and all the stuff. This, however, I am discussing in basic itself. No need to worry. This app ID also I am discussing in basic. In content ID also I am discussing these things in basic itself.
Okay.
Okay. Advanced user ID, this we are not discussing. Terminal server and all the stuff, this we are not discussing.
All right.
And this is traffic shaping QoS. Okay.
Okay.
What they have done is in 201 they didn't configure, they didn't show you global protect, which is a remote access VPN. They work only onto site-to-site VPN. They won't work on to remote access VPN or SSL VPN.
Okay.
Okay, but we can discuss that. Won't be see. It's entire out of our personal interest. Okay,
Right.
we can see this also. No need to worry. And logging and monitoring, especially you are integrating with your syslog server, SNMP server, and all the stuff. Here, previously, high availability is theory. This high availability is practical.
Okay.
In 201, high availability is theory, but we are doing it practical itself in this also.
Okay.
However, that we are going to see all the things. We are not skipping anything. Okay. And if you observe this is purely MSSP environment when you are sitting. Means my company is having 100 branches. Every branch I'm having a Palo Alto device. Okay. I can't hire 100 engineers who can manage my Palo Alto access at every branch.
Right.
So what I will do, I'll purchase a Panorama. It's a centralized management device.
Okay.
It will integrate all my Palo Altos of all branches into headquarters Panorama. So if I want to write a policy in one particular branch, what I'll do, from Panorama I'll write and push it to that particular branch.
Okay.
That entire will comes into managing multiple firewalls.
Okay.
And this course is especially meant for IPS and app ID of your Palo Alto, defending multiple threats. Okay. And this course is meant for troubleshooting and debugging purpose. It's a 3 days training. Once again, core troubleshooting of Palo Alto device. Okay. And they also developed one more product called endpoint device. Okay. This is about endpoint. Palo Alto endpoint controller. Okay. As I told you, we'll be working on endpoint, isn't it? In bridge mode, you will be deploying endpoint.
Right.
So this is endpoint training. But endpoint, once again, different license, different device. Altogether it is different. This is endpoint deployment and optimization. Okay. And coming to certification part, Palo Alto is having 2 different certifications. ACE, Palo Alto is having Accredited Configuration Manager. ACE is the basic, exam. Okay, which is free of cost, but you need to have a firewall serial number. For example, your company purchased, a firewall.
Right.
Okay. So what you can do is, with that serial number of your firewall, your company firewall, you can write an exam, ACE, Accredited Configuration Engineer. Accredited Configuration Engineer. See here. Okay. It's a very easy certification. Just it will look into basic things of your, are you good at your, this. After completing of 201, you can write this exam. Means after looking of your course, you can write this exam. Okay, this is very basic certification of your Palo Alto.
Understood.
So you will be having 50 multiple choice questions here.
I see.
Okay, you can take a number of times till you pass. But what you need is, you need to have a serial number.
Understood.
Serial number of your Palo Alto device. Assume like that your company purchased Palo Alto device. You need not to tell even to your company, because your company don't know about it. Only the accreditation configuration engineer is a basic training. Anybody can write.
Understood.
Okay. Just you need to register it from your company login account. You can create a learning account. You create a new account, or your company will provide you, when you purchase device, you will get your company account here. You need to log in into this. Okay. Register for certification. Each device, for example, your company purchased 10 members can write ACE exam.
Understood.
If your company purchase above 3000 series, each firewall will get 2 vouchers.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can write. Then the next exam is PCNSC 7. This is very tough exam right now.
Okay.
Very tough exam, PCNSC 7. and you need to be good with 201, 205 and 221.
201.
205 and 221.
Okay.
Because they will ask more onto troubleshooting things.
Understood.
They'll ask more onto, they will give you logs, they will give you screenshots.
Okay.
You need to, they'll give you the screenshot and you need to, say it, what actually happened and all the things.
So this troubleshooting is which one? Troubleshooting is 331, is it?
Yes, but that much core in-depth of troubleshooting is not required.
Okay.
Okay, but you need to have basic strong onto 1 minute. Pandu with connection. You need to be good into basic troubleshooting like VPN troubleshooting, authentication troubleshooting, firewall policy troubleshooting, policy tracing, sniffing traffic. A lot of other things are there. That you need to be, because they will show you exhibits. They will show you the packet captured things.
Okay.
Which is a 2 hours exam actually, but they recently made it as 90 minutes. 60 questions will be there. 75% is the pass criteria.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
time plays major role.
That's like again like a multiple choice question, is it?
No, it's multiple choice only, but you will have transit, means you will be having screenshots and the packet captured things.
Understood.
From that you need to, time plays major role in this exam. 60 questions within 90 minutes you have to complete.
And
This
what
is
is the cost of this exam?
$250. See here, this is my PCNSE. I completed in Jan 2.
Oh, you just recently cleared. Nice.
Yeah. No, I'm previously PCNSE 6 certified. Now
Okay.
I'm 7 certified. So PCNSE 8, will release in a couple of months.
I see. Okay.
Because if I need to download these VMs and all the stuff, I need to have a login ID.
Okay.
To get a login ID, definitely you need to pass.
I see. Okay.
And 7.0 dumps are not available yet in market. I will let you know once dumps are available. Okay.
Approximately like how much time does it take for the dumps to come on the market? Like, I mean, just
See, it depends on it depends on series actually.
okay.
Palo Alto previously 7.0 is there with brain dumps and all the stuff. But I practiced those and I went to exam and nothing from those dumps came.
Okay.
So you need to have some working exposure also onto it. Then only you can clear.
Okay.
Only by depending on dumps, if we go and appear for certification, I don't think it will work.
Correct. And is there like a PDF or something where like all these things are given in details as such, where you can kind of read through it, or is there like
actually this is not part of official anything. In official slides, nothing will be there related to these things.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah. They didn't focus and they didn't give it anything. Okay. So perfect. Now we are going to start with our Palo Alto. These are the modules which we discussed.
Yeah.
From branch office.
Just 1 minute. Can I just take one quick bio break?
Yeah, you just take a 5 minutes break. We'll take a 5 minutes break and we'll continue. Okay. Yeah. Now let me go through with official slides. Module 1 we are going to start up with. Okay. So in this module, what we are going to discuss is what are the things we are going to cover in this particular. In this module, we are going to cover platforms and architecture. What are the different series of Palo Alto devices and how the architecture of Palo Alto devices. Okay. So from basic PA100 series onwards, okay, we have PA7000 series boxes also. So how you will choose which box will suit your business requirement?
Depending like the throughput and the number of interfaces.
Most of the time, to choose the right firewall, first priority is throughput. How much throughput it will support. Then how many concurrent sessions can be established. Okay. Then how many IPsec site-to-site VPNs or remote access VPNs or global protect, that is your SSL, simultaneous SSL connections, IPS throughput. Okay. By considering all the stuff, we will choose which one will suit our business requirement.
Correct.
So if your company is small company, you are looking for a branch gateway. Okay, this is recommended. PA 200 and 500 are recommended for branch devices. No, I am looking for a mid-range device, SMB mid-range client. Then PA 2000 and 3000 series firewalls will suit the requirement. If you are at ISP or enterprise gateway, 5000 and 7000 series are meant for ISPs and enterprise. Okay, see here, 5060, 5000 series. 5000 series are meant for 5000 and 7000. 5000 for enterprise, 7000 for ISP, 3000 series and 2000 series for mid-range clients, and rest of all 500, 200, 100 and all the stuff for branch gateways.
Okay.
Okay. So understand the architecture of PAN device. Each and every PAN device will be divided into two different planes: control plane and data plane. Okay.
Right.
This is architecture which is common for Juniper, which is common for NetScreen, which is common for Palo Alto. Okay. So control plane is taking care of entire traffic which is passing forward to your engine. Okay. And data plane is having multiple signature processor, multi-core security processor, and network processor.
Right.
Okay, what it means, there are two different types of traffic called the transit traffic and exceptional traffic. Okay,
Right.
transit traffic and exceptional traffic in your Palo Alto. So control plane will take management traffic, logging and route updates, and all the stuff will be done through control plane. And data plane is a place where traffic will hit and each and every traffic will be passed. Okay.
Right.
Then looking this, if we see, I'll show you. Then looking this, recommended is, I'll show you. See here, this is your Palo Alto device. Okay.
Right.
Which is divided into operating system, logically divided into two planes: control plane and data plane. Data plane and control plane. Only to show you this, I am going to take you for 1 minute into Juniper. Okay, because in their slides it is clearly mentioned how this traffic will be processed. Just for your understanding purpose, we are going into this. Okay. Okay. Very slight. Interface, Junos fundamentals. Here, why I am going into Junos is just a clear description is given here.
Okay.
Now understand the traffic processing. See here, control plane and data plane. This is same, control plane and data plane. Okay,
Right.
traffic will always, exceptional traffic will hit to device. Means, for example, here is your internet connected server. Here is your internal user. Okay.
Right.
So, job of this is data plane. This is control plane. Traffic which is destined to, firewall, or traffic which is initiated or destined to firewall. Okay. Means source is this system and he is trying to connect to firewall. That traffic will come all the way to data plane and it will go to control plane.
Okay.
Means traffic which is sourced or destined to your Palo Alto device, that will be maintained by control plane. Okay.
Right.
Now user is going from my user system to internet. that particular traffic will never hit to control plane, that will be processed by using data plane. Means through traffic, means source is not your firewall, destination is not your firewall. Your firewall is just forwarding traffic.
Right.
Those particular traffic will be maintained by data plane. Okay, and a traffic which is destined to firewall or updates, software updates or routing updates and everything will be maintained by control plane.
Okay.
Now understand, data plane's job is only forward traffic, whatever is coming to ingress interface to egress interface. Okay,
Right.
but how come my data plane will understand to which interface I need to give, what is next hop and all the stuff is, this control plane's job is to generate a routing table, okay, and push that routing table to data plane.
Okay.
Okay, this control plane's job is to get all the software updates or all the updates will be done through your control plane only,
Got it.
because updates will be taken to device, right? Antivirus signature update or IPS signature update, firmware update, everything will be. Only blindly you can understand one thing: traffic either sourced or destined by your firewall, that will be done, that will be taken care by control plane. Traffic which is processed through your firewall, that will be maintained by
Data plane.
data plane. And the data plane is just a job is, if a traffic hits, it look into what, to whom it has to forward. Okay,
Okay.
here Palo Alto's SP3 architecture, single pass packet path forwarding, means here in data plane this Palo Alto maintains 3 different processors. Okay, and all the 3 processors will be processing traffic at the simultaneously, same time. Okay, Google is having very good documentation related to this. I will show you Palo Alto SP3 architecture. Understand, single pass parallel processing means packet will be, see here, this is your control plane, data plane. Only management traffic will be maintained by control plane, already we discussed. Okay, and this is data plane. Okay, so data plane, once again 3 different components are there, called network processor, security processor and content processor. Okay, so when a packet is coming from one user to, for example, here one user is there, another user is sitting another side, means another server is sitting another side. So when traffic is processing through data plane, what it will do? Simultaneously entire network verification, such as route verification, NAT verification, everything will be done by this network processor. Simultaneously security verification like antivirus, web filtering, IPS signatures will be verified by the security processor. Encryptions, decryptions and everything verified by this content processor at a time. Other firewalls, what happens? One after one it has to continue. One after one it has to do it. Because of that, it will take more time to pass the traffic. Okay. Whereas,
Sir,
yes.
sir, I have one question.
Yes.
Sir, as you have told, this process will take the same time. It will take 3 process.
Yes.
Network, signature, all these things. So
Yes.
that I have one packet, HTTP packet. He is going for network process and signature filtering. So it will be make the copy of that packet, and how?
Yes, it will maintain a copy of packet.
Okay.
Okay. See here.
Yeah.
Now you have signature matching. You have multi-core security matching. For example, each and every packet need to verify policy. When it is going out, it has to perform a source NAT. Okay, means NAT lookup need to be done. Okay, what a route lookup need to be done. Okay, that entire will be done simultaneously. Even QoS and all the things will be done simultaneously by network processor. Same packet will be verified for encryption, decryption, or web filtering, content filtering, and all the stuff here itself in security processor will do that. Okay? And
Okay,
app ID, content ID, user ID will be processed automatically by signature processor. That is your content security processor, content processor. The signature processor is content ID, app ID, and user ID. Means which user traffic is going on. Okay, and what content is browsing? Is he browsing job site? Is he browsing font site? Is he browsing what content? What type of category content he is browsing? Okay, and is he allowed to browse or not? Is it clear?
Yes.
At a time, see other firewalls, what happens? One after one it will happen. Means I'll just take example of FortiGate processor. FortiGate. If you what happens? First it will verify one, then it will go, then packet will go to the verify second, then packet will go to verify third. Like this it will go. Whereas here one packet made multiple copies. One will go to network processor, one will go to security processor, one will go to content processor. Okay, network passed. This has to be given to so and so gateway. Security, okay, all security checks done. Content processor says yes, encryption, decryption done. So packet reassemble and packet will send back to destination. Clear?
So, one quick question. So does the packet get fragmented into 3 parts, or it's the same packet?
No, a packet copy will get created. A copy of this packet will get created and given simultaneously to all the 3 processors. Okay. Next slide will give you clear clarity. This is called packet flow. Understand the packet flow. Okay. Now, when a packet hits to ingress interface, okay, when a packet hits to ingress interface, first it will verify from which zone it is coming. Okay, and understand Palo Alto is a zone based firewall. Palo Alto is a zone based firewall. So based on the IP packet, for example, your user is browsing internet. This is your Palo Alto device. Okay, this is your internal user. This is your external Gmail server. So how IP packet looks like? Packet looks like this. Source IP address, source port. Okay. Destination IP address and destination port, isn't it? Assume like that my user is sitting in 10.0.0.1. He generated a random port 19,800. He is trying to reach to google.com on port number 80. Okay. So how my IP packet looks like? Source IP address, source port. Okay. Destination IP address, destination port. Okay. This way the packet will reach from user to ingress interface of your Palo Alto device. First, what it will verify? This comes under which zone? This address comes under which zone? So it will verify, okay, this is coming under LAN zone and this is coming under external or WAN zone. So first it will verify source is which zone and destination is which zone. Okay. First packet, what it verify? Source zone, destination zone, and source network. In LAN zone, I have 100 networks, like 20 dot network, 30 dot network, 40 dot network. I have multiple networks in LAN zone. So is there any address object with 10 dot network allowed? So it will check out. If you enable user ID, which user is using this, which user is sending this packet simultaneously, and it will look into, is there any policy based forwarding? Okay, policy based forwarding or policy based route we are going to configure. If you don't want to look into routing table, no, I have to look into routing table, then it will check out, okay, source zone is LAN, destination zone is WAN. Is there any NAT mentioned? Because with this private IP address it can't go out. To reach into public network, you need to have a public IP address, isn't it? So it will check out, is there any NAT policy there which will be translating this 10 dot network into public. If it is there, then simultaneously copy will be made for the security application and policy. means three things will be automatically scanned. One is security pre-policy. What it will verify? It will verify the destination port is allowed or not. Okay, and it will verify is it a part of new session or existing session. If it is new session, it will create a new session ID in session table. If it is part of existing session, it won't look into all other. See, till session established only everything will be verified. Once session established, this entire won't be scanned. Okay, only what will be scanned? ALGs, application level gateways will be scanned. Okay, so simultaneously application processor, that is your security processor, will verify is it any encrypted traffic, means do I need to, is it part of any IPsec or any SSL communication, do I need to encrypt any data here? It will verify. Okay, it will apply encryption and decryption here if it is required. Understand here, if it is, these are parallelly processed. Okay, understand this. These three are parallelly verified. A copy will be made and three will be verified. Application content processor will be verifying is it part of which application user is browsing. Have you allowed that application ID signature? That application ID is nothing but signature. Okay, and security policy will be evaluated by your security processor. Is there any security policy to allow internal LAN zone traffic to go out to WAN zone? It will verify security policy and it will check out security profiles. Security profiles are nothing but is this packet carrying any antivirus virus packet, or is it part of any web filtering, is it part of any DLP? It will verify all the stuff. Okay, these three will be simultaneously processed. Okay, so once these three are not identified any malicious things, then your post policy forwarding will happen. What it is going to do? It is going to, because here you decrypted to verify is it carrying any malicious content and all the stuff, right? It will re-encrypt the traffic and it is going to apply NAT policy, which is evaluated here, means to which IP address it has to be translated and forwarded to the next hop by looking into routing table. Okay, I think Pranav, are you there?
Yeah. Yes, I'm here.
You can understand this, right?
Yes.
How packet is verified. I'll give you a clear step. First one, it verifies is it part of which zone, source zone and destination zone.
Right.
So, and it verifies is there any zone, inter-zone traffic, is it intra-zone or inter-zone? When it is inter-zone, it will look into is there any policy to allow this inter-zone traffic.
Right.
If policy is there, first it will check is there any what will be the next hop. For example, there is a policy if LAN to WAN allow. So it will evaluate to which next interface I need to give, because my Palo Alto is having 100 interfaces.
Right.
By looking routing table, if first priority will be given to policy based route. When we will write policy based route, when I don't want routing table to be verified, at the time I will route policy based route. If PDR is not there, then automatically it will look into routing table to which interface next need to be given.
Okay.
Once that got decided, then what my packet will be done is my packet will be made into 3 copies and given to security processor, network processor and content processor. Okay, what network processor will verify what will be the next hop, behind which interface I have to NAT will be verified by my network processor. What my security processor will verify, is it carry encryption decryption, if you need to enable any encryption decryptions, or if you want to verify this traffic is carrying any malicious traffic, that is antivirus or security policy evaluation, okay, or data filtering like DLP. Simultaneously, content processor will verify what content user is browsing, which application user is browsing, whether the application signature you have allowed or dropped. So once this 3 will be done, then we'll call it as, this is called pre-processing, okay, and this is called post-processing. then the data packet will be once again re-encrypted, because here we decrypted to verify is it carrying any malicious data. Okay, so here once again what we are doing is we are going to re-encrypt the traffic and verify to behind which NAT interface I need to, means which IP address I have to NAT, source NAT. Okay, and I am going to verify by looking into routing table, it will identify to which next hop I need to send this data. Okay, so very clearly first is zone, first priority goes to zone.
Right.
Okay, second priority goes to policy. Okay, third priority goes to content, like application control, web filtering, content filtering. Okay, fourth priority goes to encryption, decryption. Okay, and last priority goes to NAT and forwarding traffic. Okay, is it clear?
Which was the second one? First one is zone. Second
See,
one is
first one is zone. Second
Right.
one is security policy. Third one is security profile. What security policy will verify? From this particular zone to this particular zone, traffic, first zone will verify is it intra-zone or inter-zone, from one zone to another zone. If it is from one zone to another zone, is there any policy which is allowing traffic from one zone to another zone?
right.
Clear? If policy is there, then it will look into ALGs called application level gateways, which will say antivirus, content filtering, web filtering, app ID, and DLP.
Okay.
If anywhere this packet is getting dropped, there itself it will get dropped. If it pass everything, then it will be verifying. What next it is verifying is NAT. Behind which interface? Because it is coming from internal network. With internal IP address, I can't send it out, isn't it?
Correct. Yes.
So I need to verify behind which interface I have to NAT, behind which IP address I have to NAT.
Right.
Once you NAT also, for example, I have NATed behind 192.168.1. IP address. So to reach 4.2, what is my next hop? Which interface I need to pass the traffic, and what is my next hop IP address? That will be there in our routing table, isn't it?
Correct.
So it will look into routing table and it will be given to the next hop. Clear?
Right.
This is architecture or packet flow of your Palo Alto device. Okay?
Okay.
Only difference with other firewalls is here it is parallelly processing security, network, and content. Okay?
Okay.
And this is your Palo Alto device will be having a dedicated management port, which is called out of band management interface. Out of band management interface, if you purchase a new Palo Alto box, there is a management interface, management port. What you need to do, connect cable to that particular management port, connect it to your laptop.
Okay.
Enable any IP address in 192.168.1 network.
This is the Ethernet cable which will plug in, right?
Yes. Management port also will come with Ethernet, means console to Ethernet cable. Means USB to console you have to use.
Okay.
USB to console. Okay.
Okay.
You have to connect USB to console port. And once again it is out of band management interface. Means this interface is not part of any of your network interfaces. This is out of band management interface.
Correct.
Okay. And by default, assume that I purchased the new Palo Alto device today. When I unbox it, what I need to do? Connect management console interface to my laptop. Assign 192.168.1.x IP address, except one. Okay. Open your browser, type https://192.168.1.1. Default your Palo Alto box IP address is 1.1. You will be getting a login screen. Username should be admin, password should be admin. Admin. Default. You will log in into management network. See here. If you want to configure any other IP address to your management, you can configure other IP address to your management.
Okay.
Recommended is make sure that your management IP address will get internet. Or else you have to do lot of changes.
Okay.
Why? Because all software updates, as we discussed, any traffic which is initiated by your device, that will be using your management interface only to get updates. For the first time when you configure through USB console or Ethernet, then onwards you can directly use Ethernet cable to connect to your internet connected interface switch.
Okay.
Okay. So however, we are going to do this practical.
But the thing is, first time when we connect to this Palo Alto device, by default it will have this IP address of 1.1. So when we type this 1.1, it will already open in our browser, right?
Yes, you can change it. Once again, you need to change IP address.
Okay.
I will show you how to do that.
Okay.
After changing, you can't connect because you change the IP address. You can't connect, right? Once again, you change the IP address, you will connect.
Correct.
For example, previously it is 192.168.1.1. I want to put it into 100.0.0.1.
Okay.
So first my network interface, what I will do, for the first time when I connect cable, I will go into my network interface. I will assign an IP address 192.168.1. Okay.
Right.
I will log in into screen. I change management IP address to 100.
Okay.
Once again, I can't able to access it. Once again, I need to change here by 100. Then I can access.
Understood. Got it.
Got it? Yeah. So then after configuring your interface, you can maintain your device using CLI, command line. But Palo Alto recommends you to do configuration in graphical and this one in command line, troubleshooting in command line.
Okay.
Okay. See here, initial configuration in GUI. By default, on management interface, HTTP, SSH, ping and SNMP are allowed. Okay.
Okay.
So you can use GUI or CLI, or you have an API. API stands for Application Programming Interface. You can generate an API interface, API link, what you can say. We will see. So limited permission, only I want to take backup of my Palo Alto device. I can use by API. I need not to log in into GUI or CLI. For GUI or CLI, we need to log in, whereas in API, you need not to log in or connect. Give me 1 second.
నీ పాత పాస్పోర్ట్ ఇచ్చే నంబర్ ఇచ్చేసాను అయితే ఇప్పుడు కరెక్షన్ చేయట్లేదు నీ పాత పాస్పోర్ట్ నంబర్ ఇవ్వడం వల్ల మళ్ళీ ఇది కరెక్ట్ చేస్తే ఇది ఎప్పటి అందువల్ల ఇప్పుడు వెళ్ళట్లేదు
ఓకే వెళ్ళొద్దు నేను ఓమన్ పోయినాక
అప్పుడు కరెక్షన్ చేస్తా
ఓకే రైట్ సారీ see here GUI CLI API using 3 you can configure it. Okay. So ACC, once you log in, you can see 3 different things. One is statistics, where you can see all your dashboard kind of stuff. Okay. Then you can see ACC, dedicatedly you can see application command center. Which application is widely used in your network, which applications are blocked, which applications are malicious applications your user browsed, which user downloaded most applications, everything you can see. Application command center.
Okay.
Okay. You can monitor your monitoring is for your traffic. In command line, we have 2 different modes: operational mode, configuration mode, similar like all the firewalls. In operational mode, you will do monitoring and basic things. Okay. In configuration mode, you can do all the configuration changes. Remember, similar like Juniper, here if you run 100 commands also, until and unless you type commit and enter, that won't replicate the change. It's kind of batch configuration. For example, I have given 100 commands, I have issued 100 commands. Okay, that won't be replicated until and unless I run a commit. Okay. See here, in CLI you can use question mark, which will give you what are the possible options. If you are typing something, instead of typing everything, you can press space bar or tab.
Okay.
Which will complete all your operation. Okay. Help pages, similar like your man pages, you will have find. For example, now I want to see all the commands related to show. Find command show. If I say, it will show all show commands. Okay.
Okay.
like that, it will show. CLI commands, if you say show jobs all, it will show you all the jobs. Means all the running process, running jobs.
Okay.
Okay. Debug is a command to see, monitoring, to see debug commands. Like diagnose, debug, we will run commands.
Right.
In troubleshooting class, we are going to discuss. All logs we can see, under /var/log, because this is also following same Linux kernel. Okay. You will be getting it under /var/log.
Okay.
So assume like that I am external user. I want to execute some commands on Palo Alto device without logging in. So we will be using API. So here we will generate API for user account. For example, this user is a user who need to take backup. I don't want to create username and password and give it for him. I will create here, I will generate a API for him. So directly what he can do, he need not to type any username and password, he can connect through that API and fetch information from this Palo Alto device.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever you have given for that user, he can execute all the things without authentication. Now, this is quick for our first one. Wildfire is especially meant for malware analysis. Okay. But see here, Wildfire platform is a Palo Alto PA series firewall. Wildfire is not Palo Alto PA series. Wildfire is a dedicated malware analysis box, which we say as M100. It will start with M series.
Okay.
So this is asking, Wildfire platform is a Palo Alto PA firewall for malware management. It's not PA series, it's M series, and it's not a firewall, it's only meant for malware analysis.
Understood. Okay.
Which of the following Palo Alto network generation firewall is best suited for securing medium enterprise and the branch office of small enterprise? Which one will suit branch or small?
I think the 100 is for the branch, I think.
No, this is C here. What series it is?
That is M. So I think PA2
Yes.
200.
PA 200 is suitable for branch.
Branch. And then for 4000.
Mid-range 4000 will suit.
Right. And then for this thing is like
Enterprise 5000. If you want to dedicatedly do Wildfire and all the stuff, then you need to do Wildfire platform. Okay.
Okay.
See here, WF 500. The purpose of WF file, see, if you are seeing WF itself, you need to understand that this is a Wildfire device.
Correct.
Okay. Especially for organizations that prefer to use public cloud applications due to regulatory and private concern. No. Wildfire is meant for malware analysis. Okay.
Right.
See, M100 platform is used to deploy Panorama on a dedicated appliance. Yes. M is nothing but management. Understand this.
Okay.
We already discussed Panorama is the device which is used to manage multiple gateways.
Correct.
So, management 100 is to deploy Panorama on a dedicated appliance. Yes. So, some of the useful commands. We are going to see all the commands in our last class.
Okay.
NAT commands, routing commands, policy commands, and all the stuff.
Okay.
Okay, this is about our module. So, we completed one module.
Okay.
We will see deployment of our firewall. Okay.
Okay.
So, we completed our module 1. Lab of module 1 is set up your own lab. So, now what I am doing is, I am making my lab topology very clear. Okay.
Okay.
So, we are doing lab implementation using a VM. So, we need to plan before implementing. So, what I am going to do is, I have one Palo Alto device. One Palo Alto device.
Okay.
I have management network. Remember, if management network is getting internet, then updates, everything will happen through that. Or else you have to manually modify it.
Understood.
So I am giving management also internet access. And I am using my LAN DMZ. So local area network, DMZ, and management. Okay.
Okay.
As per my real-time requirement, my company's requirement, my LAN is sitting in 10.0.0 network. I recommend take management into internet connected network because you can get all the updates and everything through management. If you don't want your monitoring and everything in public network, I recommend you go with private IP address also.
Okay.
It's up to your company requirement. Okay.
Understood.
Now I have internet connection. So my Palo Alto device is having multiple interfaces. This is interface 1. This is interface 2. Interface 3. Interface 4. Okay. In our lab topology, I am taking my interface 1 for management network.
Okay.
Okay. As I told you, I am giving a IP address which can get internet. My Wi-Fi router is giving 192.168.1. IP address.
Okay.
Okay, I am taking 1.50 IP address for my management interface. My management network, I am putting in your lab topology. What you need to do? You need to put this in bridge mode. You need to put this in bridge mode. Okay.
Okay.
And coming to your interface number 2 is WAN, my ISP connected internet. So, however, I am assigning same range of IPs. Don't get confused. If you are getting internet to management, all updates and everything will be done by management.
Right.
If you don't want, put it into different network like 100 dot something.
Correct. Okay.
But in real time, if you are getting it to management, it is good. All updates and everything will be done by management. You need to put this interface also into bridge mode, remember.
Okay.
Okay. And create multiple VM networks. Create this LAN network into one VM network. As per my topology, I have my intranet is of 10.0.0. network. So I am configuring 10.0.0.254 as this interface IP address. Which interface? This interface.
Right.
Okay. And put it into customize a VMnet. Create a VMnet 2. Put this into VMnet 2. Guys who are using Windows, I recommend please write it down. These two interfaces need to be in bridge mode. This need to be in VMnet 2. And DMZ need to be in VMnet 3. And I have my DMZ network in 172.24.10. network. So I am configuring a IP address called 172.24.10.254 for this interface. Okay? Is this clear? Sarath, నీకు ఏమైనా డౌట్ ఉన్నాయా దీంట్లో?
సార్ ఇదంతా మనం ఒకే సిస్టమ్ లో డిప్లాయ్ చేస్తామా? అది ఎందుకంటే విఎం నెట్లలో ఇస్తే
అంతా ఒకే సిస్టమ్ లో డిప్లాయ్ చేస్తాం. మనం ఆ సిస్టమ్ రిమోట్ ఇచ్చేస్తాం అందరికి.
ఓకే ఓకే
అర్థమైందా?
ఓకే సార్.
Is it clear, Lalit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect.
మనము రిమోట్ ఇచ్చేది విండోస్ 7 అలా ఇస్తాం కదా.
అవును, విండోస్ 7 ఇద్దాం, దాని ఏముంది.
బట్ విండోస్ 7 ఈ డిఎండికి సంబంధించిన సర్వర్లు ఇవన్నీ జ్ఞానం సంబంధించినవి అన్ని పెట్టాలంటే ఒకే సిస్టమ్ లో రావు కదా, కంపల్సరీ రెండో సిస్టమ్ లో కావాలి.
అవసరం లేదు సార్.
ఓకే సార్,
వస్తా నేను చూపిస్తాను నీకు ఇప్పుడే. ఓకే.
ఓకే.
అంటే నువ్వు వెబ్ సర్వర్ అవన్నీ ఇన్నాళ్ళు మనం ఏం పెడతాం, ఇవి పెడతాం కదా, ఏం సర్వర్ 2003 అవన్నీ ఏం పెట్టద్దు. టినీ వెబ్ సర్వర్ అని ఒకటి దొరుకుతుంది, 26 MB చాలు దానికి, రన్ అయిపోతుంటుంది. ఓకేనా? సో see here,
Generally, this firewalls, how many interfaces does it have?
See, based on the device to device, if you are purchasing 200, you will be having 6 interfaces.
Okay.
One management interface dedicatedly, one HA interface.
Okay.
Okay. Based on device to device. If you are going for enterprise, you will be getting 40 interfaces, 60 interfaces like that.
Okay.
Perfect. Now, let's build this lab topology. So, I have my Palo Alto VM. See here, this is your Palo Alto VM which I am going to upload for you. 2.24 GB. I am uploading into 4share.com. I'll share you link.
Okay.
You can download it.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to my VMware Fusion. You have Fusion in your machine, right?
Yes, I do.
So are you getting internet through wired network, Thunderbolt, or you are getting through Wi-Fi?
Currently, I'm connected through Wi-Fi.
So your Wi-Fi router, you check out your Wi-Fi router, what range of IPs it is providing, and log in into your Wi-Fi router, okay, and make sure that DHCP range by default it will be from 1 to 254. Restrict it from 200 to 254 so that you can use some static IP addresses to assign to interface.
I see. Okay.
Okay. Because when you are giving when you are assigning IP address here 50, 100, 200 kind of stuff, it should not conflict with your DHCP.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Make sure that you assign right IP addresses. Okay. Now when you are deploying, let's make my Palo Alto. First check out here. Go to settings. First network adapter is my management. As I told you, I am putting into bridge. You need to put it into bridge. Okay.
Okay.
And second network adapter which is acting as WAN, put it into bridge. Okay. Windows guys, you need to put it into bridge.
When you say put it into bridge, here we are just putting it into Wi-Fi mode, is it?
Same, that is automatically bridged.
Okay.
In Linux, in Mac and Linux, you won't get bridge.
Okay.
You'll get directly interface. If you connect it through wired, you need to connect Thunderbolt Ethernet.
Understood. Okay.
Got it? Then automatically it will be bridged.
Okay.
Okay, and third, which is my LAN. LAN interface I am putting into VMnet 9.
Okay.
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 And fourth interface is my DMZ. I am putting into VMnet 10. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So 4 interfaces. One is management. Second one is WAN. Third one is LAN. Next one is DMZ. Okay.
Okay.
Power on your VM. I am going to share you OVF template. What your job? Right click, open with VMware Fusion. Workstation guide, workstation. One more thing you need to remember is wait for a while. Immediately if you type admin, it won't work. You have to wait for a while because your database will get initialized. Till the time if you are in a hurry and if you are doing something, it won't work. In Mac, if you are using Pranav, make sure that it will ask you this password because by default these interfaces will be running in promiscuous mode by default.
Okay.
That's why it will ask your Mac admin password.
Okay.
Later on, however, we are going to remove those.
Okay. So currently in my router, my DHCP beginning address is 192.168.0.2 to 0.254. So I will change it from 0.200.
No. You can just use range of 0. See how many devices maximum will connect? 50?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not. Yeah, I think multiple devices can connect. I think.
No. In your room, how many will connect? At a time, 50?
Yeah, maximum, not more than that. Actually, not more than 10. Actually, yeah.
Then you do one thing now. 0.49 to 0.1249, you block it. However, one will be your gateway, right?
Yeah, one is the gateway.
In DHCP range, you put it 0.2249.
Okay.
Okay? You put your management interface to 50, 0.50 here.
Okay.
0.1 will become gateway. 0.100 or 200 here for WAN connectivity of your device.
Okay, so basically the DHCP ending address, which is 254, I will make it to like 48.
48, yes.
Okay. Okay, so that changes then.
Login into your device. Okay? By default, it will be having 192.168.1.1 as management IP address.
Okay.
What you need to do? Set device config. Go to configuration mode. Configure. Okay?
Okay.
Set device config. System IP-address. Management IP address, whatever you want to assign.
Okay.
Net mask. Default gateway. DNS server. Primary and secondary you can set up.
Sir,
Sir.
సార్ ఇది మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఐపీ ఇంటర్నెట్ కనెక్టెడ్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ లేకుంటే ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్?
ఏదైనా పెట్టుకోవచ్చు శరత్. ఇంటర్నెట్ కనెక్టెడ్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ పెట్టుకుంటే అడ్వాంటేజ్ ఏంటంటే అన్ని అప్డేట్స్ ఆటోమేటిక్ అయిపోతాయి.
ఓకే.
లేదా నువ్వేం చేయాలి, మళ్ళీ రౌట్ కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసుకోవాలి.
ఓకే.
సిజ్లర్స్ తో ఒక స్కూల్ అమ్మ చెప్పు.
ఇప్పుడు ఎలా కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తారు? ఈ 1.1 ఇంటర్నెట్ ఐపీ
బాండ్ అంటే ఇస్తా.
ఏం శరత్?
మీది 1.1 ఇప్పుడు ఇంటర్నెట్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ లేకుంటే
ఇంటర్నెట్ వచ్చే ఐపీ అడ్రస్. ఇంటర్నెట్ వచ్చే ఐపీ అడ్రస్.
ఓకే.
ఓకే.
This DNS server which you have put, there will be different for everyone?
No. This is Google DNS which I have given.
Okay.
Global DNS. You can do 4.2.2.2 or 8.8.8.8.
Okay.
Or else you put your Wi-Fi router itself as DNS. That is your 192.168.0.1 also will act as DNS.
Okay. So this file you will share, right? This thing?
Which file?
This OVA file?
Yeah, I'm going to share you today itself.
Okay.
But write down this command I recommend.
Okay.
Because you can set up and do lab.
All right.
Write it down. You wrote it?
1 second.
Yeah, please. And remember, anything if you are doing changes, until and unless you commit, nothing is going to work. You need to commit it.
Right.
This is also same feature of Juniper.
Okay.
Now what you need to do is take one more XP VM. See, we need to have multiple VMs. Very clearly I'm telling. We will work on multiple VMs for this. You need to have multiple VMs. I'm taking one more XP VM, which is acting as management. So because my management interface is in bridge mode, my management interface is in bridge mode. What I need to configure? I need to configure my XP, which I'm choosing to take it as management, also need to be in bridge mode, isn't it? So make sure that your interface of this XP is in bridge mode. Okay, and power it on. And this system which you are accessing is management system, which is a trusted IP address. So what IP address I need to put? 192.168.1. Some IP address. Gateway will be always my management IP address. What is my management IP address? 1.50, right? What we have given.
Right.
If you want to check out, go to operation mode, run show interface management. See here 192.168.1.50 I kept. Okay. So configure management as gateway for administrator PC. This is management PC, and give 192.168.1.50 in your browser. Okay. Username is admin, password is admin. It is saying that you are using default credentials, it is insecure. Change your password. Say okay. See here, this is your Palo Alto dashboard. Okay. Here what the things you can see? You can see your name of device, host name, management IP address, gateway for management, management MAC address. Here your model number and serial number. Because you are using a VM, there is no serial number here. Okay.
All right.
We didn't install any license as of now, and this model is ESXi model. Okay. What version of firmware you are working on? What is version of your software? 8.0 we are working. So which version of global agent you installed? Till now we didn't install any global agent. Your date and time you can see here, uptime, how much time onwards it is up and running. Okay. And here you can see who logged in at what time they logged in. See, console login. Already in CLI also admin logged in. That's why it is showing here. In CLI, if administrator will exit, see only admin logged in. For example, in your Palo Alto device, junior administrator you created 10 guys. If you log in as domain admin, you can see all the guys who currently logged in into your Palo Alto device. All logs of your system. Okay. Who logged in, failed authentications, when you committed, and all the stuff. And this is configuration changes logs. What are the configuration changes you've done? So what you have done, you run a command called set device config, system address, and all the stuff. What date, what time you have done it. when you committed last time. Clear?
Clear. Yeah.
Assume like that I am administrator. In the same time, if some administrator logged in into this device is changing something, I don't want to allow that. Then I can lock it here. If you click on it, it will get locked. No other administrator can able to. No administrator can able to log in and do some changes.
Okay.
In Juniper, we'll call it as configure private. Okay, you can see here logs. Okay, and this is application command center. What application is used in my network? Okay, is there any threats detected? Till now, no data is there, right? That's why nothing it is showing. All blocked applications or blocked URLs, blocked threads. You can see. This is for monitoring your traffic. Okay, this is for monitoring.
Right.
Okay, see here, session browser. I can see all the established sessions, traffic map to see traffic and all the stuff. However, we are going to generate some traffic and we are going to see this. Okay, policies, you will write all your policies here. I have some existing policies, however, we are going to delete those. We are going to configure from scratch. Okay, object, as we discussed, it is object oriented firewall. Here you have to write all your objects. Network, you will be creating your interfaces. Okay, and you are going to configure your interfaces. In device management, you will be doing all the things related to this Palo Alto device. Okay, means you are going to integrate with a wildfire device, so you can integrate with the wildfire device. I want to manage this device from Panorama. See here, we'll integrate with Panorama. Okay, clear?
Clear. Yeah.
So this is about how it looks like. Okay, nothing we have done. We just logged in and all the stuff, because for interface and all the stuff we have other modules. See here, for interface and all the stuff, configuring interface and all the stuff, we have different modules. See here, our next slides we are going to discuss. In module 2, what we are going to discuss is, we are going to discuss how to configure management. Okay,
Okay.
and all the stuff. But we'll stop here itself today. What I recommend you to do is download it, and I'm going to share you a couple of other VMs. Okay? What you need to do is, you need to download all the things and set it up. I'm going to show you how to set up lab.
Okay.
So what you are going to get today is, today you are going to get your VM, all the lab guides, documents, client softwares which you required. Everything I'm sending back to you.
Okay.
Perfect for now?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah, you are asking something.
For these VMs, like how much of RAM or memory or this thing?
If it is Mac, if you are having 8 GB, more than enough to practice all the labs, including HA.
Okay.
If it is a Windows machine, I recommend 16 GB RAM, because most of the time in Windows 7, host itself will occupy half of the RAM.
Okay.
Okay, I recommend you go for some higher grade.
Okay.
Fine?
Fine. Yeah.
Any doubts, Lalit?
No, sir.
Sarat, nikam doubt unnaya?
లేదు సార్ ఏం లేదు సార్
ఓకేనా? ఈ విఎం డిప్లాయ్మెంట్ చేసేది నువ్వు విఎం అన్ని అప్లోడ్ చేసి నేను లింక్ పెడతా, చూసుకో. ప్రణవ్,
నాకు షేర్ చేస్తావా సార్?
నీకు షేర్ చేస్తున్నా సార్.
పోర్టల్లో పెట్టేసి.
ఎందుక నీకు డౌన్లోడ్ వేస్ట్, పొద్దున్న తీసుకున్నాదరా.
సరే సార్.
Okay.
One question is, in case if I get stuck up while downloading or anything, should I share take a screenshot and share it out?
Yeah, you can share it out. You can even.
Is there a direct email address or direct contact information which I can use?
Yeah, I can give you. No address.
నా వాట్సాప్ నెంబర్ కూడా షేర్ చేయండి సార్.
Okay, you do one thing. Sarat will help you. Oh, sorry, email address is wrong. Sarath will be your single point of contact for any lab topologies and all the stuff. Sarath, నీ WhatsApp నెంబర్ చెప్పు.
988 555
988
555
okay.
9760.
Pranav, if you are struck out anything in setting up lab and all the stuff,
Right.
anytime no need to hesitate and call Mr. Sarath. He is a dedicated lab guy who will give you all the lab topologies and all the stuff. And he is expert of setting up all the lab topologies and all the stuff. Okay?
Okay.
You can reach him at any point of time. This is his WhatsApp number which I have given.
Okay.
Okay? You can ping him in WhatsApp. He can share you all the things.
Okay. Sounds good.
And you are can I have your email address so that I can put a link to you.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. I'm going to send it.
The link which you're going to share, that will directly come on this email address, is it? Like the
Yes.
OVF?
You will get directly onto your email address.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Guys, you can collect VM and all the lab setup, everything tomorrow morning. Okay, from Sarath. I'll give it to Sarath. You can download and you can access. Okay, because once again your download space, everything will get wasted. Why you need that? Okay, get your pen drives or external disk tomorrow and collect it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, sure. Bye. Good night. Take care, everybody.
Okay, same to you, sir. Just.
Yeah, Pranav. I am online.
Yeah. So, where do you work as such currently? Are you working or you just purely into training?
See, I'm a corporate trainer actually. I deliver trainings regularly for corporate, British Telecom, Vodafone, Wipro, TCS. I travel all over the globe.
I see. Okay.
I do implementation as well as training. I travel all the globe.
Understood. Okay. Like a freelance kind of.
Yes, freelancer. I'm working with almost all the areas of security, like implementation of Blue Coat, F5, Riverbed, Cisco, Juniper. Actually, I won't singly do. All these guys are my team actually. One guy is expertised into one. Lalit is expertised into Checkpoint. Atif is expertised into Cisco. Sarath is expertised into VMware. We have expertise, different domain experts.
Okay. So apart from this, this Palo Alto, which other trainings do you deliver as such?
We deliver all the areas of security trainings.
Okay.
All this guy, right? Tapan. His TNB learning is having hundreds of courses.
Okay.
Not only with this, you have multiple than this. Any kind of security training, I recommend you reach him. He will revert back to us because we can't directly work with you.
Understood.
We won't directly work with any client. All we have is partners.
Okay.
Partner will get business to us. We do trainings.
Understood.
Okay. You reach Tapan. He will be contacting me for all the things. Any technology into security like Palo Alto, F5, Blue Coat, anything in security, you reach back to him. He will come back to us. Actually, his corporate trainings also we deliver.
Understood.
We deliver all trainings of corporate of him. So you can call him back. He will get he will give you all the details.
Understood.
Okay. Take care. Bye. Tomorrow sharp 6 o'clock I will connect you.
Okay.
I think today because of some disturbance you couldn't able to connect, right? Tomorrow directly I will be sharing you link before 5 minutes. 5:55 you will get link. No need to worry and call up Tapan. I will be definitely sending you direct link.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.